Armistice Day and all the commemorations that have happened over the weekend. I think it'd be important to explain to people, Mike, Bill, beg your pardon, what being a Chelsea pensioner means. How do you become a Chelsea pensioner?
First of all, you apply. You've got to be of pensionable age. You've got to have an army pension. And you apply, they contact you, they invite you down for a 4-day stay. And that's for them to look at you to see if you will fit in here and for you to look and see if you will fit in with them, because not everybody becomes one. And it's all a mental attitude, you know. And you apply, and if you're successful, you realise all your properties and such like, and then you move in. And
you'll live together, men and women as well.
Yes.
It must be a source of pride to become a Chelsea pensioner.
It is, yeah. When you go out dressed like a Chelsea pensioner, it's like you live in another world. Everybody is so respectful, and they all come up and shake your hand, watch your pictures taken and everything else like that. No, it's... And, of course, when we go out dressed like this, we're not just representing the Royal Hospital at Chelsea, we're representing all the other armed forces. So that's our job, really, as ambassadors.
Yes, of course, and I mean, it's so resplendent in the uniforms. I know you get given those. Just talk us through the red jacket and the tricorn and everything else.
Well, it's tradition-based. These are quite uncomfortable, but we have to wear them. And I think it was it...
The Duke of Marlborough, they are actually called Mulberrians.
OK.
Jackets.
After him.
And they're the Duke. I was going to tell you the joke about the buttons, but I don't think we'll bother.
Oh, OK. Well, tell me that one afterwards. Is it a bit rude, a bit cheeky?
No.
OK. OK. Well, we'll save that one. Being serious then for a moment, Bill, what does Armistice Day mean to you, well, you've both obviously served in the forces, but what does it mean to you?
Well, for me personally, it's the word remembrance. It's remembering the guys who went before us and the men and the women who actually went to war but just didn't come back, and remembering that they are the real heroes and we are just the guys who came behind them.
Because you both served for quite a long time. How long were you in the forces for?
I was 15 years.
And you saw tours, you both experienced going abroad and being in places. How about you, Mike? What was your service like?
I served for 23 years, just under. And I'm a military surveyor, basically. I printed maps. So wherever the forces were, we printed the maps where they were going. The last big job I did was we printed all the maps for the Falkland Islands. And as the fleet sailed, they didn't have a map. We were printing them. They were airlifted to the Ascension Islands and the fleet picked them up on the way past.
Look, I know, I'm sure many people know people in the forces, but when you've been in the forces yourself, surely you know people who, unfortunately, didn't come back.
Yeah.
Those are the people you'll be thinking about?
Yeah. There was a guy who I was really friendly with in 1B Arcor. Him and his family, I really got on well with them. And then he got posted to Falklands, and I was quite shocked to find out he'd gone, because I'd formed a real good bond with him and his family.
That must really bring it home. You know people who've served and given their lives for the rest of us. Is that what's front of mind on days like today?
On today, but we also think of the guys in the hospital who were actually these guys who went and fought in these wars. They were lucky enough to come home, but the whole hospital really remembers the day and everybody respects it. And that's the main thing, is to give them the respect that they're due and just remember them.
Talk us through the way you remember, because by virtue of the calendar falling this year, we've had commemorations at the Albert Hall on Saturday, obviously Remembrance Sunday yesterday, and now Armistice Day immediately the day afterwards. A busy period, but a poignant one for you.
It is, yeah. And so we've basically we did a drumhead service on Friday.
OK, Friday as well.
Yeah, and then Remembrance Sunday in the church, and then today, which is really Armistice Day.
What's the atmosphere like around the hospital at times like this?
It's quite sombre, but it's the time of year. We're all... it's something we all got share, if you like, the memories and everything of.
Yes. I mean, you know, these days when we go through troubles and challenges, we're encouraged to talk more about it. Do you find that has changed over time, that people are more willing to share stories and discuss the challenges and experiences they went through when they were in the forces?
They tell the stories all the time. It's a matter of irritation sometimes.
Oh, is it? Okay, okay. But it's also important to share this
Of course
stuff.
it is, of course it is. And this weekend is one of these. I was lucky enough to do both the Albert Hall and the Cenotaph.
Yes.
And it's just totally amazing, the respect you get from everybody on the way around, and it's just totally amazing.
Well, tell me about that. Tell me about yesterday's experience in particular.
Yesterday's, well, I was lucky enough to push one of the guys who wasn't quite able to walk, and we were all waiting to go along, and along beside us is all the ex-veterans. And as we were called forward, all the ex-veterans started applauding the Chelsea pensioners. And that's when you felt, my God, that's us. And the respect that all these veterans gave was worth more than anything. All the way around, all the way around. They just broke into spontaneous applause.
I mean, I was here yesterday, and I find it moving seeing it on screen, as I'm sure many people watching Sky News will as well. But when you're there, it must be powerful.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. And as Bill says, everybody's clapping, everybody's cheering. And you think, all these other people are, but it's what we represent. Everybody focuses on us.
And we're representing the guys that couldn't be there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of the people recognise in the Chelsea pensioner.
Oh, it's so noticeable. Look, we will be observing the silence in around about 18 minutes' time when the clock strikes 11. Just to finish off, gentlemen, who will you be thinking about as you pause and remember?
Basically, most probably Bill, who I formed this friendship with. Yeah.
Again, just my father fought in the war and everything like that, and just they've all gone now. But I do respect the ones who fought and didn't come back. They're really the ones who are the heroes.
Really good of you to come in. Really grateful to you both for talking to me about it today. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.